Hello, and you are listening to Wayne from parentingwithempathy.co.uk. If you like what you see over the next few minutes, then please click the like button and why not subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. In this video, I'm looking for ways to start a discussion with a young person who we know has experienced trauma. The discussion for this video is more of a general discussion on the effects of bad things that happen to children, in fact anyone. So all you have to do is pick the moment to show this video with the sound down, so you can't hear my voice but you can see the video itself, and then ask in a conversational way these 3 questions. Just 3 questions for them to think about, that's all. And maybe a short discussion around any answers you get, depending on how your young person is feeling at the time. You'll be the best judge of that. So I think the first thing to do is to try and set the scene, and I always try and use empathy if possible, even if it's for inanimate objects. So for instance, when we're looking at this video, I would say, and look at this poor old sand, it's just minding its own business, taking the ups and downs of life, not doing anything wrong, and then suddenly, whoop, look, somebody takes some of the sand away, causes a real big problem. And look how, in time, after a few turns of the wheel, sand's back to what it looked like it was before. Now, isn't that like a person who's had something bad happen to them? What do you reckon? Would they get better after a few turns of the wheel? How long would a few turns of the wheel mean for a human? How many years does that represent before things will get back to normal for the person who suffered the trauma? Also, the deeper the hole, the longer it takes for the sand to recover. If we're looking at that in terms of a human being, what deep holes in a person's life would take longer to recover from than others? And finally, when it comes to trauma, there's a lot of therapists and branches of therapy that believe that we don't actually ever fully recover from trauma. We just manage to live with it and the effects it has had on us. So what does your young person think about that? Is there any truth in that you just have to live with it and move on rather than getting back to where you were? Because in the analogy used in this sand tray, then actually, although things look the same, as if they've got back to normal, actually the amount of sand in the tray has been reduced by the trauma. So yes, my 3 questions are, in human terms, not sand terms, how long do you think it takes for people to recover from trauma so they're able to move on in their lives? Question number 2, the deeper holes in the sand take longer to recover. Does that relate to trauma in a person's life? The deeper the trauma is, the longer it takes them to recover. And question 3, do we ever actually recover from trauma? Or do we just manage to get along afterwards? Because even in this case of the sand, there's not quite the same amount of sand after the trauma than there was beforehand. Is that an analogy for human beings and for young people experiencing trauma? Please click the like button and why not subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos.